Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Jason with Samus Prime. Welcome back to another episode in the Echoes Let's Play. Today, I think we're going to be picking back up in Dark Aegon, so let's go ahead and get started with the gameplay. Also, just one moment while I get my sound on. Today, we're going to be talking a bit about Project MPR. Alright, just have to make sure I got everything set up. We're good to go. But yeah, kind of got a lot really I could talk about. Not a lot that I want to share at this time. Just because there's still a lot up in the air, still a lot of things we're working on, things that we're just not quite yet ready to announce yet. But I will share a lot of, I think, of stuff that you guys may not have been aware of, things that are going on in the process, and as well as some of my own thoughts on the game, where the state of it is, as well. Of course, I'm still be talking about how amazing this game I'm playing currently is. Let me look at this. Let's take a look at this model. Dude, I know I always say this, but the animation in this game is amazing. I just love the models and the way they look in motion. Alright. But yeah, so Project MPR started in 2017. I guess officially the alpha, you could say. And about March of 2017 is when I started creating my own textures for the game. And at the very beginning, it was simply me trying to show people how great the game looks still. How well the engine holds up all these years later. Almost what? Going on close to 20 years later now. And the engine still holds up great. And so that's one of the reasons I wanted to kind of get people hyped up and maybe create more demand for an official remaster from Nintendo, which we know isn't coming. Maybe we'll get a port and maybe we'll get some HD upscaling and stuff, but an actual remaster of the game is very unlikely. At least if it is, it's one of the better kept secrets. So I guess it's possible, and it would be amazing if they actually did do that. I would not be upset at all. I'd be totally stoked because, as I said, the project started out originally just to create the demand for that. And over the years it kind of evolved. A year later in 2018 is when I officially decided to make it a goal to try to remaster the textures in the entire game. And so I started down that path, and then we had some security issues and actually lost a lot of subscribers in my original Discord and stuff in 2018. And so after that, I was kind of in a place where I wanted to continue to work on the project, but it was getting increasingly difficult to do by myself. And so that's when I decided to really reach out. Up to that point, I'd always kind of worked and collaborated with Ray 3D. At the time, he was going by Glitch Gaming. And he actually is the one who inspired me to start using Reshade and just thinking about how the game could look remastered. And so we kind of built up a friendship and a relationship over the years, starting there and just sharing our Reshade settings and stuff like that, and talking about the game. And then when he saw me trying to remaster the game, he expressed interest in doing so as well, trying to help me do that. And so that's kind of where the project began, was way back then. At that point, it became more than just me trying to show the world how great the game holds up and how it could look with some higher resolution textures to what could we actually do to remaster the game, like what could we do to modify. And so it was just a long road really to get to where we're at today. So when people might be wondering, where the progress is and where we're at, we're actually quite a ways in a way, but still just beginning because so many things had to happen over that time. I'll go into more of that too. Don't you just love the jump guardian? You just like the one boss of it. But he's also not too. But yeah, so humble beginnings for sure. It was just me, like I said, and then eventually just me and Ray. And at that point, I decided to open up after the security issues, and after we decided I was going to continue to do the project, but now really wanted to make it a project, something that was going to be a team project, something that I needed to put together a team for. And so that's what happened in about 2018. And we started to put together a team over the course of the next year and a half or so, put together basically who we have now, to a point now where we're actually getting stuff done. And it's starting to really look like a real project as far as the way we're even managing EVGA. So yeah, the team was built in late 2018, and so pretty much the end of 2018 we really started working together as a team, trying to develop a workflow, trying to figure out how we're going to do this, and tackle many issues that we had, many questions. And over that course of time, so from the beginning of 2018, it kind of just started out with Ray and myself, and then we brought in Mr. Mandelli, who became a very valuable asset, and he's a project manager. He's also very important to our public relations, and so he was very integral in also starting the whole thought process of how to make this actually a mod and not just some kind of texture pack project. So that really opened my eyes to really what we could do. He had so many ideas and things that I just had never thought of. So Mr. Mandelli was very integral in that, and bringing him on, and he was the third member of the team, the original team, and one of the guys who are still here to this date. Bringing him on was integral. Okay, hold on, I got my jump move, now I gotta go up here. Very important adding him was. Yeah, I don't have to go to the top yet. He also, as far as the mod too, he had ideas about how to protect the textures, so that we're not putting out a texture pack and anyone can just, use or try to claim for their own. So that was important. Security was important to us. But also ideas about expanding. He had connections with other developers. He had connections with the PrimeHack team. And so that eventually led to bringing Shio and Sir Mangler on board. And now they're members of MPR, Project MPR team as well. And, Shio is an amazingly brilliant software engineer. He's really the backbone behind a lot of what we're doing because of his work with PrimeHack. We're able to implement those. And then I think also, speaking to Sir Mangler, he'll tell you that working with the team has allowed them to also come up with more ideas, because now they're not just thinking about how to go about controlling the game, but also how to actually control the engine itself and how to do different things, like possibly with the engine itself. I guess I don't want to go into too much detail on that because we haven't fully discussed how much we're ready to disclose just yet, but we're working on stuff with the engine itself and the way it works with the emulator. So some of the things I can tell you we've done is we've improved the force lighting, and that was thanks to Tino B, and he's the developer of Ishiruka Dolphin, and we actually brought him on board as well, and so he's a member of the team now, and he's been helping us to develop our own version, if you will, or just a better version of Ishiruka for the purpose of what we're doing with this mod. So we got a modded version of Dolphin, not just with PrimeHack, but also the engine itself, Dolphin itself. Alright, so here, or no? Yeah, right here. Trying to play and remember what I'm doing at the same time as telling you this amazing story. So yeah, so Tino B, he was an amazing addition to the team. He brought a lot because he implemented the changes in Dolphin itself that allow for material maps and normal maps to be shown in an old engine like this. It's not something that's normally possible. So yeah, he's able to do it through emulation. I'm not 100% sure how he does it. I just know that he does things that are beyond my grasp. As far as the world of coding, he, Mangler, Shio, Mr. Mandelli, they're all very well versed in many things, including programming, and so that's something that I'm personally not. But yeah, this is gonna be a little bit longer episode. Don't worry, we're not stopping here. So much about NPR I'd like to share. Only so much I'm going to share though right now. But still, information I think is important and things that you guys probably haven't heard, or maybe some of you have. Those of you that remember the Discord may have a better idea. Okay, wait. So I'm trying to remember. Where am I going? What am I doing? That is the question. I got my double jump now. We can head back out here. This might end up being a much longer Let's Play than it normally would if I was just streaming, because I'm thinking a lot about what I want to say as I say it. And it's kind of making it harder to remember where the heck I'm supposed to go. I'll make progress eventually though. Especially with this episode, because Project MPR is just so important to me. And I know it's important to a lot of the Metroid community, and so that's why I was really excited to do this, and also why I waited to the last minute to do it, because there was just a lot of thinking I had to do. But one thing I wanted to share that I hadn't previously was the fact that we actually but we did completely reboot the project at one point recently. It was early last year in 2020. Okay, so let me try to remember where I'm supposed to go now. There. Gosh. Someone's probably watching the screen right now, screaming at me. Go here. But I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I think I gotta go talk to the guy at the temple. Okay. So anyway, yeah, we actually had to reboot the project, and we didn't have to, I guess, but we did. The stuff I was doing back in 2017, 2018, I guess you'd call that alpha. That was all me learning even how to do simple things like dump textures from the game and then inject them in the settings and all this stuff that took time to learn. I'd already been a pretty accomplished graphic designer, so I had a lot of skills that I have, in video editing and graphic design and all these things, but I've never done game textures. Then hooking up with Ray, learning so much more. He's educated in the material design and texture design and all these things that we're doing. So adding him to the team was very important, but not just because of what he knew, his ability to show me things and teach me things. And he's a very, very easygoing guy. He's a fun guy, that good friend, and just a great guy. So it's really easy to learn from him. So just learning all that stuff, it took time. And then in 2020, when the team really started to come together, and then once Tino joined the team and he improved the textures the way he did, or not the textures, well, yeah, the textures themselves he improved. Okay, so I was right, I had to come here. It's almost like riding a bike. Never forget, I guess, once you've done it enough. But yeah, man, Tino improved the engine so much. Is this it? Oh, okay, so maybe not. I wasn't supposed to come here. I had a feeling this was going to happen in this episode particularly, because I'm just so engrossed in what I want to say. But that's also the beauty of this series, this is fun. I'm really enjoying this. This is about as close to a live stream as you can get, but without having to directly talk to people, it kind of helps too, because I'm able to really get my point across. But so yeah, Tino B's implementation of force lighting and the improvement of that. Maybe it's here to go. There we go. Orvis Bog. Brain fart. His implementation. Oh no, that's right. Oh, see, don't you love Metroid's design? There it is. There's the reminder right there where I gotta go. Hey, dummy, you gotta go get the dark beam. Oh man, what a brain fart. His but anyway, his implementation of force lighting is what makes Ishiruka different from the main fork of Dolphin. And so when he improved that in early 2020, and he did that after joining the team, he and Ray had spoke, and Ray kind of explained to him what we're doing and what we needed, and then he was able to actually make the force lighting better. He was also able to implement cube maps, things that just weren't possible before and still aren't possible in the main Dolphin 4. He has implemented, and now we have, and so this force lighting has made it to where now the normal maps and all the material maps that we're creating are a lot more evident. Like, you can see them way better than you could before. And so once that happened, that made they took the whole project to another level. And at that point, we had to develop a new workflow, and we had to figure out how exactly we were going to do it. So let's go back. Heartbeat. I took the wrong turn. So yeah, that made a big difference in what we were doing. We had to then figure out how to maximize this now. All the materials that we had created weren't good enough anymore. Our whole process of how we were creating the materials wasn't good enough. The process of the diffuse texture work was about the same. That didn't change too much, other than we started to now enhance the diffuse textures even further using more tools. And that was another thing that changed, was our workflow. In our workflow was the tools we were using. We started using Substance Designer and Substance Painter and other tools that are professional level tools, industry standard tools. And so that made a difference. And so just figuring out a workflow using those tools, and I'm still using my original workflow for the diffuse textures because a lot of these are hand drawn, and so I draw them in Photoshop. Create the height maps. I do a lot of things in Photoshop, and even the creation of height maps and that whole process was new to me. I'd never done it before, and it was a process I had to go through and learn, and Ray helped me with that as well. So yeah, it was just huge. Then we added more texture artists. We've added Sardines in Space, and we've added, I know, interesting name, and we've added Samir, and both of them have contributed textures now to the game, and they're working currently as we speak. And so we've got several texture artists now, and that's helped. But we are looking for more. So if you're watching this and you've thought about it, I'm telling you, it's you've got a passion for it, and it's something you really want to get into, gaming in general, but also I already got this. But you know, creation. Oh, I didn't get this. Well, at least I didn't come back here for nothing, I guess. Yeah, if you have a passion for it, or if it's something you're really interested in getting into, contact us, let us know, and you know, we can talk and see maybe you can contribute to the project. It'd be amazing. We've been adding more, and there's actually prospects out there now that I can't speak of that are very, very exciting. If we can add, you know, very talented artists that are interested in the project. So that's all I'll say there. But it's awesome. Okay, so wait now. Oh, okay. All right, brain fart. I don't know why this part actually does kind of make me brain fart sometimes. It's like I think I'm further in the game than I am. I still have to do this. But yeah, what was that? So it's like, let me get up here and then I'll continue. Trying to think about where I need to go in the game, at the same time trying to think about what I want to say here. Alright, so yeah, new workflow for the new materials. You know, more refinement in the Prime Hack thanks to Shio and Mr. Mandelli and Sir Mangler. Sir Mangler, adding him to the team was huge. He's brilliant, brings a lot to the team, has a lot of ideas, and as I said, there's things we haven't quite talked about yet that we will be soon that are amazing. Things that he's working on and that he's brought to the table. So can't wait to share those with you. We also have Chozo Labs. He's in IT and he helps with idea work too, and he's going to be helping with some video editing stuff, and I'm really excited to see what else he can bring to the table. So we have a lot of things going on behind the scenes for sure. And I don't think I had mentioned before this video that we had actually completely rebooted the project earlier last year. So it was like probably February, March, I believe, of 2020. we finally finalized our workflow. We finally started to get going in the direction we've been going in the past year. And so the progress we've made, a majority of it has been over this past year, and it's really taken the project up to another level. So now we've got a fully fleshed out mod on our hands that is going to completely transform the way you play and look at that game. It's going to be amazing. I love this part. These guns are awesome. Look at those particle effects are actually really good. I love that green smoke. It looks so cool. Actually, one thing we've actually discussed, and this is a really early discussion that we've been having, just to give you an idea of some of the ideas we go through and bounce off each other, was the possibility of adding some of the effects from this game into the original. See, gun, effects like that would be pretty awesome. Can you imagine firing a charge beam and getting explosions like that? It might be possible. We don't know yet. And that's just to give you an idea of some of the things that we bounce around to see if it's possible to add into this mod. And those are the that's the scale and the level of things we are looking to add. So not that that's officially something that will be in the mod, I can't say for sure, but it's just to give you guys an idea of stuff we think about and to see if we can. And if we can, we do it, or we're trying to anyway. So yeah. So yeah, that's that's kind of actually a really good example of the type of stuff we might try to add to the game, or at least look into or think about or talk about. Let's go. Yeah, and the team has been implemental. Another addition to the team that has been huge was the addition of Antidote, and he is the developer of Erd, or Erde, however you'd like to say it. He's brilliant. That guy is very smart, and he knows a lot about the engine itself because, well, he's basically recreating it. Reverse engineering the whole thing, so he can tell us things about how the game works that we just had no idea, and it helps us a ton. It's so huge. His input, his information and input has been huge. So over the past, I guess, since late 2018, so almost 3, I guess. Well, it's been a little over 2 years. The team has grown so much, and over the past year, the project has really started to show progress because of that. And so I guess that's probably the most exciting thing that's happened, is now we actually feel like we have a final workflow and something that we could teach other artists. So like I said, if you're an artist who has ever had desire to create, and if you're a video game or video game textures, and if you're someone who has a passion for Metroid, especially Metroid Prime, then we'd like to talk to you, because we have a workflow now. Like I said, we feel is something that can be taught. It's not too difficult. I can use tools that you may already use. So if you use something like GIMP or whatever, Photoshop, those types of the skills we're really looking for. Can I scan her yet? I don't think I can. She takes off too fast. Oh, yes. Ooh, can't wait to fight her. It's coming. All right. Oh, wrong way. So yeah, we have a workflow we feel is it's solid, and it also consists of learning and using tools that are industry standard tools, as I mentioned, and so that's beneficial, if you're looking to get into the industry. Okay, and getting into game design and game making. It's another thing I'll go ahead and tell you guys, for those of you who've watched into this video this far. You deserve little gems. I'm gonna drop one more gem that hasn't really been announced yet, and that's the team itself. We've gone through so much change that just being called Team MPR no longer fits, because we are definitely 100% invested into finishing this project and this mod, but that's not all we want to do. That's just the beginning. And so really what we've become is a studio. You know, we're becoming a studio. We're working as a studio, we're organizing a studio. And you know, right now we're just making a free mod, but eventually I think it'd be nice to think about making a game, you know, or something like that. But for sure, if nothing else, we'd like to continue to make mods and work as a team, you know. And so we decided we had to come up with a team name. And so I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys know what that is for the first time and here, and it's Aether Labs. So Aether Labs is the new team name for Team MPR, because what we're doing is gonna soon expand past just Project MPR and into other mods and maybe even software. Hopefully in time. I can't say exactly when, and we haven't set in stone a solid timeline for all that yet, because we're still setting in stone project goals for Project MPR, and project you know, goals take time to implement, and we want to see those happen, and we want to make sure that things are going on track and on a pace, and we all have personal lives, we all have families or you know, whatever, we have responsibilities, we're all adults, we have things we have to do. I personally have a child and a wife, and I do actually enjoy spending time with them, so that, you know, something I do. I spend time with them, and I work and do other things to provide for my family. You know, I do this out of my passion and love for the game, as far as Project MPR, and so that isn't let's take a look at the Metroids. I love these creepy little buggers. It won't let me look at the model for them. That's strange. I wonder if you can once they break out. Huh. Oh yeah, I forgot about this logo for the... That's cool. But yeah, man, the whole team, you know, we're all human beings with normal lives, so we all have things that come up, and so there's times where we can't contribute as much as we like, and managing a project with people that way is difficult. You know, I'm 100% though, and of the mind that we all given of this out of our passion for the game. We're not getting paid or reimbursed for our time, so I'm not too demanding of people's time. I try to put in the goals at the mind that we want, what we want to accomplish, and that's all you can really do. You can't. Oh, you got these guys now. Take a look at the models for these guys. That's awesome. Dude, I think this is my favorite Space Pirate design, like, ever. It's so bad. I love it. So yeah, I'm not too demanding on people's time as far as that goes. You know, I like to try to be understanding as I can. You know, people do need breaks too. Sometimes you get worn out. Like I said, we all have lives and work jobs. So working an 8 or 10 or 12-hour shift and then working another 4 to 6 to 8 hours a day on a project is difficult to ask of anybody. I personally have done that, and there's times where I've worked more than that on this project, and there's times I think all of us have. So yeah, you know. Okay, so wait, hold on a second, I remember. Wait, in here I gotta go. Oh yeah, I want to get the energy tank first, so let's raise this one. So there's a fine line in how you treat people that are doing things for free, I guess, to, you know, without blacklisting it. Oh wait, no, okay, I gotta go over here first. Why is this not working? See, I need that. That lighting up like that looks really cool. So yeah, we're all here because we want to be, not because we have to be, not because we're paid to be. And so it takes time. As I was just gonna say, I personally, there have been times where I've, you know, put 8 hours of work, come home and put another 8 in the project, but that tends to be something that eventually leads to a burnout, and then you need a break, and then you take time off, and that's basically what we deal with. And that's me personally, though, you know. So it's not saying anything about anyone else. Okay, so let's go down. This one goes down. Oh my gosh, I guess it's gonna go over there. There we go. So like realistically, like I personally have come to a point now where I realize, you know, if I can only put an hour in a day or 2 hours in a day on the project, that's something, and that's better than nothing, and it's going to get us somewhere in the long run. So, and plus it's more sustainable, and so, and there's other things besides work, home. There's other things that I have passions for, like what I'm doing here. I mean, this content creation and just things I do for this franchise, this IP that I care a great deal about. It takes a lot of energy and time and effort. So allowing myself to do that though is beneficial because it allows me a creative outlet, you know, something that I can continue to keep my creativity flowing, and then that helps in the creation process of textures, because it just does, you know. People have writer's block and stuff. I think it's because they limit themselves to what they do. You know, if all you are is a writer, then it'd be easy to get writer's block. Is that it? Nope, wrong one. Because reason being, you don't have any other source of inspiration other than the fact that you write. What other source of inspirations do you have? What other things do you do? Do you paint? You know, the ability to paint, and actually painting and learning to paint will open your mind artistically and allow you to do other things artistically, I believe. And so that's why I do so many different things creatively, because they all feed each other. They feed my energy, period. And they allow me to sustain myself, you know, creatively. Okay, so sorry, I know a little artsy fartsy there, but it's just it's true. Crap. In my opinion, it's true. It's something that I've learned to be true. Okay, so I gotta go all the way up, huh? Oh yeah, this is a cool little puzzle. I love this environmental puzzle. So yeah, man, the team has grown so much, and with the reboot of the project early last year, the progress we've actually made this year is actually amazing, because it really, I guess you can't really discount everything that was done the years prior. RDM and I worked on quite a few textures together, and he contributed quite a few textures himself to the project. All in all, I'd say well over maybe 60, 70 textures that he did in his stint with the team. He's no longer with the team. He just hasn't had the time. He has other personal things that he's moved on to do, and so he's no longer with the team on the artistic team, which is it's unfortunate, but he helped us really kind of set the design too of the project, and the way it, you know, the project is turning out to this point. It has a lot to do with him as far as the aesthetic. He really helped us to capture that original feel, but also take it to another level too. So I definitely gotta give him a lot of credit for that. But yeah, guys, there's just so much, and really that's just the beginning. I guess in the next video I might talk more about Project MPR, but that's where I'm going to leave this one for now. Yeah, it's been a really awesome experience working with these guys. You know, this team is amazing, and it's grown so much in the past few years, and not just by what we, you know, by numbers, but by what we know and the abilities that we've developed, and the things that we have been able to do. It's been huge, really. It's been really big. So yeah, I'm really excited for where the project is going. As far as the future, I can't announce 100% for sure that when a release date's coming as far as the first phase. For those who don't know, and for those of you who needed a reminder, yeah, we're going to release this project in phases, so that you guys can get your hands on and see what we're doing, and so that we can build it from there, you know, because I just want people to be able to see the game and play it this way as soon as possible, even if the entire game isn't done. So the first phase is going to consist of the Orpheon and of Talon Overworld, and then the next phase will be Chozo Ruins and Magmore Caverns, and we'll progress that way, and we'll go there and that way, and then another phase. So we're looking at about 4 phases. And so the first phase, we're working really hard to release this year. And so I'm not saying that's for sure, I'm just saying that that's the goal. And so we're looking to release phase 1 this year, and there'll be a huge update video prior to the release of phase 1. So for those of you who've been asking me about an update on MPR, as far as an official look and a video, and it'll be just before the release of phase 1. So that'll come out, then phase 1 release, and that'll be the big deal for this year. And then I guess the big announcement also in this video is that we're now known as Aether Labs, and so that's Team MPR. We're now Aether Labs, and we're excited, man. We're excited with this rebrand and continuing to grow, and we're excited to see where this project goes, and just polishing it up and getting it into your hands is the goal for this year. So yeah, man, it's really stoked. I just want to thank you guys again for watching another episode in this Echoes Let's Play. It's really turned out to be fun, really fun for me, to be able to give you guys this this content. So I hope you enjoy it. But I guess I will see you guys in the next video. You guys have a great week. See ya.